In Operation Midnight Hammer, 125 U.S. military aircrafts together attacked Iran's nuclear facilities Fort Nathan and Isfahan. Around 2 a.m. on the 21st of June 2025, 7 B-2 Spirit bombers entered Iran from the Mediterranean Sea over Israel and Iraq and attacked Iran's nuclear sites. After these attacks, the whole world was watching Iran's retaliatory action. There are more than 24 U.S. bases in the entire Middle East, and it was being threatened that Iran could target any of these bases. And then 2 days later, the same thing happened. Iran attacked the US's Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar and Iraq's Ain al-Assad Air Base. But this was not the first attack on American bases. Iran has attacked American bases and their assets several times in the past, and once even destroyed an entire U.S. warship. Let us know those 4 incidents of the past when Iran openly hurt America. Once again, flattery in ZMTV's videos. Nazreen, on the 3rd of January 2020, the US carried out a drone strike on Baghdad airport in which Qasem Soleimani lost his life. He was not just a general of Iran, but also the most trusted man of Supreme Leader Khamenei and the most powerful pawn on the chessboard of the Middle East. The news of his death created a state of grief in Iran, and now Iran has decided to take revenge for it. Where people were thinking that Iran would only make noise, Iran decided that this time the answer would be directly with missiles. Iran openly threatened America and said that America has killed our commander. Now it will have to pay the price for this. Ain al-Assad Air Base is a very important base of America in the western region of Iraq. Just 6 days after this attack, on the 8th of January 2020 at 1:20 a.m., dozens of Fateh and Qayyam ballistic missiles were seen in the sky, and they rained down like fire on the American airbase. This attack by Iran was so targeted that these missiles targeted the fuel depots, aircraft shelters, and command posts on the American base with pinpoint accuracy. And the most surprising thing was that not a single missile missed. America had already received intelligence. The soldiers had gone into the bunker, but the missiles wreaked havoc on the base. Hangars, runways, barracks, all were reduced to ashes. At first, the U.S. said that there were no casualties, but later it was found out that more than 100 American soldiers had suffered traumatic brain injuries. Their nervous system was shaken. Many soldiers lost their eyesight and many fainted. But the world saw Iran's bravery when it openly accepted the responsibility of this attack and said that it was just a warning, and if it proceeded further, there would be an even bigger attack. Initially, America tried to show the impact of these missile attacks as minor. Donald Trump, who was the president of America in his first term at that time, kept trying to suppress the matter by saying that all is well. But satellite images, videos of soldiers, and before and after visuals on the ground exposed everything. Iran said at that time, too, that if we wanted, we would have targeted the barracks of American soldiers. But our aim was not to kill, but to make them realize. After this attack, the world was stunned to see that Iran openly rained missiles on the American base, and from then on America, it remained a silent spectacle. A year before this, there was a similar incident when Iran gave a befitting reply to America. During a peaceful night in June 2019, an American drone RQ-4 Global Hawk worth 6,000 crores entered Iran's airspace. But within just 20 seconds, Iran turned this pride of America into fire. What happened was that in 2019 also, the tension between America and Iran had increased to a great extent. At that time also, Donald Trump was the president of America, and he had imposed strict sanctions on Iran. Other countries were forbidden to buy oil from Iran. Due to this, Iran's oil exports had become almost equal to zero. Iran was also not silent due to these sanctions. Oil tanker vessels were being attacked secretly through Iranian proxies inside the Persian Gulf. America decided to use spy drones to spy on military movements inside Iran. U.S. Navy's RQ-4 Global Hawk, an unmanned drone, entered Iran's coastal border. The job of this drone was to keep an eye on every movement of the enemy from the sky and inform the U.S. command about it. This drone was flying at 6 ounces feet inside Iran's border, where normal air defense systems do not work. Iran and fired. The U.S. did not even believe that Iran's missile system would work up to 6 ounces feet. The result was that the missile hit the drone's center, and the sky above the Persian Gulf lit up with fire. According to Iran, this drone had entered 15 kilometers inside their maritime border. But the U.S. said that the drone was in international airspace. First, Trump threatened to launch airstrikes on Iran, but then no airstrike took place. Let us now go to 1987, when the drone was locked. Using its 7 Qudad missile system. During the Iran-Iraq War, there was a lot of tension in the Persian Gulf. Iran was targeting Kuwaiti oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, due to which there was a danger of oil shortage in the whole world. This was the time when the U.S. launched Operation Earnest Will, in which U.S. Navy warships would protect and escort the Kuwaiti oil tankers to the Arabian Sea safely. This operation, which lasted for a year, was the biggest operation of the U.S. naval convoy after World War II, but despite the U.S. operation, the tensions did not reduce. Then the U.S. gave permission to reflag Kuwaiti oil tankers. That is, the Kuwaiti flag was removed from many Kuwaiti tankers, and the U.S. flag was hoisted. And then it was announced that if Iran attacked an American flag ship, it would be considered an attack on the U.S. Iran tolerated this for some time. But then on the 16th of October 1987, it could not tolerate it anymore. MVC Oil City was one such Kuwaiti ship which was reflagged and made American. Iran launched the Chinese-made Silkworm missile, which hit the bridge of the ship directly. It was a 3,000-kilogram subsonic missile, which had the capability to hit targets up to 120 kilometers. At that time, there was no U.S. Navy warship around this ship, because Iran generally did not target reflagged ships. This was the first attack on an American flagship by Iran. In this attack, 18 crew members were injured, and the captain of the ship, who was a U.S. citizen, lost both his eyes due to facial injuries. Attacking the American flagship meant that Iran had challenged the confidence of the superpower. In return, the U.S. Navy destroyed 2 Iranian oil platforms in the Persian Gulf 3 days later. At that time, both these oil platforms did not produce oil, but the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps used it for military purposes. Now let us know how Iran destroyed the U.S. Navy's warship. During Operation Earnest Will, Iran used a method to destroy oil tanker ships in the Persian Gulf, which also sank. A U.S. Navy warship. Iranian naval forces laid a network of mines in the Persian Gulf. These mines did not float on water, because if they were above water, they could be easily bypassed. These mines were tied with chains and anchor weights were attached and thrown into the water through speed boats. The length of the chain was kept such that the mine floated 5 meters below the surface because the hull of big ships is 10 meters below the surface. This means that the mine would explode only when a heavy ship passes over it. On the 14th of April 1988, during Operation Earnest Will, a U.S. Navy guided missile warship called USS Samuel B. Roberts had just arrived to take part in the operation when it became a victim of an Iranian contact mine in the middle of the Persian Gulf. The hull of the U.S. Navy ship opened up to 21 inches. The engine room was flooded and 2 turbines were damaged. A mine worth $500 sank a fleet of ships worth $0 million. After this attack, on searching the area thoroughly, the U.S. Navy found a whole network of Iranian mines. 4 days later, U.S. forces retaliated against Iran. U.S. ships, aircrafts, and troops destroyed 2 Iranian oil platforms and an Iranian warship named Irish Shah. In this attack, a U.S. Marine helicopter and 2 pilots were killed. History has witnessed that ever since the pro-American government has ended in Iran, despite imposing various sanctions on Iran and tightening the noose around them, they do not hesitate to answer even a superpower like America. What is your opinion about this? Do tell me in the comments section. Hope you will like and share this video of ZMTV a lot. See you in the next great video.